The statue means to me that I'm on Patrick Street, and it is a childhood memory because I used to get the number 8 bus outside the Savoy Theatre, and the two landmarks really were the statue, the Savoy Theatre as it was then, and probably Cash's or Brown Thomas as it is now. That little triangle there, that was the top of Patrick Street. That was the epicentre of downtown Cork, as far as I'm concerned. And it's a childhood memory of me passing that twice a day on the bus, up the quays, around Merchants Quay when I was coming down from Mayfield, and back over the bridge when I was going home after school. And I would pass the statue thousands of times.
Did you know who he was, though?
I know I did. Yeah, I knew he was. I didn't know who exactly the dates involved, and I still really don't. I think it's around about the 1880s, 1890s, something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I knew he was a dominating figure in the temperance movement.
Okay, I'll just get you to do that again, but it's actually 1840s, 50s and 60s.
Was it?
The statue was in 1864. So did you know who he was?
I knew who he was. I didn't know the time frame. I thought I think it's around the 1840s, 50s, 60s, but I knew he had a moment in Cork, well, more than a moment, a few decades, that he was very, very influential and drove the temperance movement, which I didn't realise at the time was a major political movement in that time, because so many people and so many pubs used to drink, was the scourge of the working classes. So it was far more than just about it was far more than a moral kind of crusade. It was about trying to help people raise their standards of living by not drinking and weaning them off the culture of drink, which obviously afflicted the poor more than most. So it was like a social movement. Now I found out all that later. I mean, initially when I was a kid, it was just take the pledge, don't drink, and there was no more elaboration than that. But later is a bit more sophisticated when I discovered that the whole social movement behind it was much more than just a simple religious pledge.
And your kids, my kids, does it mean anything to them today, do you think?
It doesn't, I don't think. Not an awful lot. I was kind of shocked when my 12-year-old told me the other day that he had been in school and he was taking the pledge. And did I take the pledge? And it brought back memories from 40 years, probably, more or less 40 years ago, when I would have been at the same age taking the pledge. Everybody took the pledge when I was in school. And we kind of meant it until about maybe 18 or something. And we felt guilty when we broke the pledge. But my 12-year-old last week shocked me when he took the pledge, because I thought, oh, that was gone, but obviously it's not.
So should we bother celebrating a statue like that?
Oh, I think there are iconic figures in every city that you have to hold on to, and I think in the 18th century, or the 19th century, in the 1800s, he was a domineering figure in Cork, and I think it's absolutely right that we should celebrate people like that, because they made meaningful change and were a tremendous force for good.